everybody, Max here, filling in for Nars. On today's fix, there's some rumbling about more major acquisitions in the video game industry. Apple has unveiled an innovative new way of screwing over indie developers, and Diablo Immortal has a release date on mobile and on PC. Now let's see those motion graphics. Obviously, Elon Musk buying Twitter is all anyone's talking about today, but there's also some big business bubbling in the gaming sector. In the past few years, Xbox Game Studios has rolled up an impressive katamari of acquisitions, including Ninja Theory, Obsidian, Playground Games, inXile, Double Fine, Bethesda, and that little indie publisher Activision Blizzard, to name a few, but apparently Microsoft's shopping spree isn't over quite yet. A job listing spotted by Video Games Chronicle suggests that Microsoft is on the lookout for a new manager of gaming strategy and development, and that person's responsibilities will include developing and evaluating the business case for content and technology acquisitions. Though Microsoft undoubtedly has people working on Xboxifying the newly acquired studios, the new role seems to be focused elsewhere, looking ahead with the goal of identifying and evaluating transformative growth opportunities. Now, on a related note, and let me be crystal clear that there's absolutely no evidence to suggest that there's any connection whatsoever between these two stories. We're just talking about acquisition-related news. It looks like Ubisoft might be the next major publisher to get bought out. Anonymous sources told Bloomberg that several companies have been sniffing around, expressing preliminary takeover interest, including the world's biggest private equity firms, Blackstone Incorporated and KKR & Company. This is hot on the trail of some reports by Kotaku that various aspects of Ubisoft business were being audited, possibly in anticipation of a potential sale. Again, take all this with a grain of salt, but also bear in mind that since 2018, Ubisoft stock prices have dipped from $181 a share to just $41, and that during a February earnings call earlier this year, CEO Yves Guillemot said that the company was open to reviewing any offers. Speaking of big business doing big business stuff, Apple has been causing some uproar among indie game developers. As part of what's being called the App Store Improvement Policy, Apple is removing games from the digital storefront if they, quote, haven't been updated in a significant amount of time. Protopop Games, a one-person indie studio, tweeted that the free game Motivoto was facing removal since it hasn't been updated since March 2019, going on to explain how frustrating it is to need to dig up the old project file, adjust the code to meet these new requirements, rebuild, and then resubmit the game just to keep the same version up there in the first place. Meanwhile, experimental game developer Amelia, aka Laserwalker, expressed similar outrage, adding, quote, games can exist as completed objects. These free projects aren't suitable for updates or a live service model. They're finished artworks from years ago. And yeah, preach. Game archival and preservation is hard enough with physical media, and Apple's new policy really seems to be throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Obviously, a storefront full of games and other apps that run well is the goal, but maybe just flat out deleting them isn't the answer. Like, put up a disclaimer that says this app is old and it might not run well on your new device. Do you still want to download it? That seems like a pretty easy solution, kind of like how macOS would, ask if you want to install software from an unknown developer. Just an idea. But hey, this isn't all bad. I'm relieved to learn that the iPhone game I worked on way back in 2010 is no longer available for download. I can hide my shame. You can't download my bad spaceship drawings that I did. Now I just need to figure out how to delete this embarrassing trailer that I made. Anyway, speaking of mobile games, Blizzard revealed in a blog post that Diablo Immortal not only has a release date of June 2nd, but that a beta version will be launching for PC alongside the full iOS and Android versions. It'll also feature cross-play and cross-progression. The free-to-play MMO was announced during BlizzCon 2018, where it quite frankly went over like a fart in church among the historically PC-centric Diablo fanbase who really just wanted to hear more about Diablo 4 and also to, not be patronized.
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
There was, of course, also a laundry list of major and minor controversies that followed, but long story short, a PC port of Diablo Immortal is happening. In the blog post, Blizzard explains that PC players will probably try to emulate Immortal anyway, so they might as well just make an official PC version that offers those players the best possible experience. But that said, it is still being treated as something of an experiment. In addition to crossplay and progression, the PC version will also feature mouse and keyboard and controller support, but Blizzard has tempered expectations by saying it will feel a little different from other PC Diablo games, probably because it is first and foremost a mobile game. If you want to know more about Diablo Immortal before June 2nd rolls around, you can check out IGN's full preview of the alpha version, which was a while back, and it was mostly positive, but presumably they've changed some stuff since then. In any case, that is your daily fix for April 25th, 2022. If you're not sick of my punchable face and stupid jokes, go check out my roundup of the biggest games coming out next month. Next month is the month called May, and it is approaching ever so rapidly. As always, go follow and subscribe to IGN wherever you like to watch. They make me say that at the end of every video, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Happy Monday, everybody.
Get ready for stack and deploy. Choose your commanders, pick your ships, arm your weapons, and deploy your forces. Collect cards, build decks, and create the strongest fleet.
Awesome!